Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another Reddit story for you, and this one is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Telling My Wife She Should Have Tidied Up the House If She Didn't Want My Mom's Negative Comments? I don't know how I feel about this. I'll cut straight to the point. My mom visited us yesterday morning at 10 a.m. while I was at work. She must have found the house a mess because once she left, she called me to rant about how filthy and cluttered the house was. She went on a long rant about my wife having an attitude and almost kicking her out for pointing out that the house looked filthy and smelled. I just nodded and hummed through the entire call, then went home thinking this was no big deal. But once I walked in, my wife started arguing with me about my mom berating her for the state of the house and calling it names like filthy and calling my wife names like gypsy. Trying to imagine this scene in my head. Oh my, but you look at this. I'm sorry, I just cannot. I have to speak up like this. Why is your house in such disarray? Why are there piles everywhere? You're living like absolute gypsies. She asked for my thoughts on this verbal abuse that mom keeps subjecting her to, and I told her to just ignore her because she's like this with my brother's wife too. Seems like you should have a conversation with your ma, bro. She got upset and said that no, she doesn't want to have to ignore her, and mom has one chance to apologize or she's no longer welcome here. I said that was an exaggeration because for one, she knows how much of a clean freak mom is, and two, and let's be honest here, she should have tidied up the house if she didn't want any negative comments from mom or any other guest for that matter. She said she realistically had no time to clean when she's taking care of the kids and the dishes and whatnot, and insisted that mom should have had basic human decency and called beforehand. Oh, mom showed up just out of the blue? And hubby says that she should have picked up beforehand? Okay, hubby, you done screwed up. You done brozoed here, man. You done brozoed. And you're about to be grounded to cleaning the house by your wife. I said fine, but no longer allowing mom to visit, at least for the kids' sake, was, in my opinion, over the top. She said if I was okay with the kids hearing my mom's despicable words, then she's not. She then argued about how I shouldn't blame her for not tidying up the house when there's so much on her plate already. I said I get it, but she was really making a big deal out of it. Now, I could talk to mom about visiting times, but I think that my wife is to blame here too. My wife was mortified into saying that she'll go through with not allowing my mom into the house if this keeps happening, and the fight just got worse. I feel like I'm stuck in between both sides of the argument and was being blamed for both of their behaviors. Am I the astronaut? Yeah! Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We're going to have to figure out where to put you here, but you brozoed so hard here, dude. You brozoed so hard. And I wish this were a follower submission because I have so many questions. I have so many questions. Like, do you help clean up the house? Like, what things do you do to help clean up the house? Like, have you talked to your mom about not just showing up unannounced? That would probably be a good thing to address. Have you talked to your ma about being respectful to your wife? Now, I grew up in a house where my mom was a clean freak as well. And in a perfect world, you would be guest ready all the time, right? That's in a perfect world, you would be guest ready. Do you live in a perfect world? Because homes with children, particularly small children, rarely a perfect world. Kids are messy. Small kids are time consuming. I've stayed home enough days to know that it is impossible to get jack shit done when you're home with the kid for the day, unless they're napping or you've succumbed finally to being like, okay, I need you to watch this show for 30 minutes because I have to do laundry and dishes. This is the only way you're going to get anything done is if you can occupy them somehow, and you're going to feel guilty for doing that too. So what do you want here, man? What do you want? If you want it to be guest ready all the time, then you have to jump in and take a lot of responsibility for that, which means you're going to have to pitch in a lot when you get home to making sure that you make it more feasible. Right now, you have an unrealistic expectation of being guest ready all the time, and you just want her to just ignore your mom and the berating, and it's no big deal. No, this is not you being stuck in the middle. This is you siding with your mother, which is not smart. It's not smart. This is not smart. We gave you the Brozo Award already, but you're going to go on the ASCON scale too. What are we thinking here? That is his home, not his mom's house. He needs to create some clear boundaries with his mother. His unwillingness to is a big deal. First of all, does she not remember what it was like to have kids? Or maybe she was one of the clean freaks that here's the kicker. If she was that much of a clean freak whenever they were little, she probably neglected them to clean. You have to make choices. You can't do everything. You're going to have to neglect something to be attentive to another thing. So there may be some issues there. But yeah, if she would benefit, and if there's an opportunity for them to bond by letting her clean there, then by all means, show up and clean. If the wife is okay with that, I have a feeling she won't be, because your ma sounds like a queen bee, but you done screwed up here. I spent forever talking with the ASCON scale up on screen here. Let's go ahead and assign it. I mean, I don't think he's evil. I think he's an idiot. And ASCON 2 Brozo, I think, is where he lives here. He is making all the wrong choices, but I feel like it comes from more of a place of buffoonery than it does malice. I don't think this is malicious. I think he's making dumb choices here from a Brozo angle. That's why he gets the ASCON 2 Brozo award here. And we'll go ahead and give him the Brozo again, because this is just a terrible take, sir. It was not a right angle. You're going to cause problems with both worlds right now. You want to create peace? Where does peace matter more, sir? I'm assuming it's going to be where you spend more time, or where you want to spend more time. If you want to spend more time at mom's, create more peace there. If you want to spend more time at home, create more peace there. And by peace, I don't mean pacification. I mean solutions. Even if you create boundaries with your mom and say you can't show up unannounced, you just can't do it. You certainly can't show up unannounced and expect a guest ready home all the time. So just don't show up unannounced, because you have that expectation and you can't control yourself for making remarks. So yeah, that's gone. You don't have that privilege anymore. Scheduled events are the only things that you're allowed to come over for. You've done this to yourself, ma. And if you'd like to come clean once a week or whatever, and if it would make you feel better, I'll ask my wife if she's okay with that. But you don't get to come over here unannounced. You certainly don't get to call my wife names. You don't get to make negative comments about the house, period. You just don't. Not okay. This is one of those times when you're supposed to stand up for your wife, and not just your wife. These comments were made about you too, sir. That is your home as well. It is not just your wife's responsibility to maintain this home. That is your home as well. So you need to stand up to your ma, create some clear, consistent boundaries, and start acting like you're on your wife's team. Because right now you're not. Right now you're trying to play on both teams. Like you're a free agent that is a designated hitter on both teams. It doesn't work. You cannot do it.